What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to ARP, and I hope all is well with each and every one of you guys, man. I want to talk about the Democrat Party real fast. Victor Davis Hanson, put it out there, and I think we all know this. I want you to hear his explanation as to why.
Donald Trump's greatest legacy, he broke the Democratic Party. And he exposed it for what it was. It was a bi-coastal elite party with a bunch of billionaires who spend lavishly and a bunch of subsidized poor and a professional class that feels frustrated. They make $200,000 and $300,000 a year, but they live in these blue cities that are very expensive and they can't buy their beautiful home. That's what the Mondami constituency is. Frustrated young white professionals. And then they've lost the working class. It's not just they have lost the muscular classes, Hispanic muscular classes, black males, white. As I said before, if you look at 2016, 20, and 24, Donald Trump's white vote, it's pretty constant. And he did not win the popular vote in 2016 or 2020. And his voting, and yet he did win the popular vote and the Electoral College in 2024 with the same percentage and actual numbers of white voters. So what happened? He picked up some women, he picked up some young people, and he got 55% of Hispanic males, and he got about 25% of black males, and he picked up another 10 to 15% of Asian males. And how could that be if he was supposed to be a racist according to the Democrats? It happened because they don't like, it's not that they're just people. They don't want to be talked to. Nobody wants to be talked to. And basically, this is a caricature, but the Democratic attitude toward a black truck driver or a Mexican-American electrician was something like this. Now, you don't know what's good for you, but those 10,000 people crossing the border every day, and the 2 to 3 million people that cross every year illegally in the Rio Grande Valley, they're going to be good for you. I don't care what you say about your schools being swamps, crime going up. They're good for you. Remember that. Now, men have a right to transition, and they are now women, and they're going to compete in your daughter's sports, and you don't know what's good for you because you're too ignorant. But I will represent you. I'm a black woman with a PhD. I'm a Hispanic woman that's your congresswoman. I am your white liberal Chuck Schumer or Nancy Pelosi, and I will tell you what is good for you. Got it? And then they'll say, you know what? You don't understand that gas at $5.50 a gallon is really good for you because the planet is heating up. And the new Green Deal is going to save you. Get some solar panels and get on the team. So they talk down sanctimoniously, and that was never clearer when Barack Obama confronted those black Democratic activists, young men, and said, basically, you don't know what you're doing. You think Donald Trump's good or something. You've got to get out there and support Harris. You're suffering basically from Marxist false consciousness. And as an elite, know what's good for you. And I will tell you, now go do it. That's what he basically said to them. For me, the locus classicus, the epitome of this is Pete Buttigieg. Everything about him represents what I just said. Sanctimonious, self-righteous, talk down. I know the answers. I know what's good for you. I am the transportation secretary. I don't think California is suffering from not enough freeways or it's too crowded. It's suffering from racist legacies of clover leaves. And I'm going to make non-racist clover. Nobody wants that. And that's what the Democratic Party, it's a Karen scold.
I'm a big fan of Victor Davis Hanson. I watch him quite a bit. I really find him to have a very accurate sense of what's going on. And he's really able to explain it so that the common everyday person can really understand what he's saying. But having been born in a blue city, in blue state, and lived most of my life, my adult professional life in blue areas, the power of the Democrat Party is in the laundering of money through institutions. So what happens is you get colleges and universities that turn out these students often in blue places, or they come to blue places because the pay scale in blue places is often higher. And the reason it's higher is because the government takes money and creates all of these so-called jobs that don't necessarily produce anything, but that basically administrate government or maybe even unconstitutional functions. So if you're the Catholic Church and you are seeing a decline in revenue in terms of parishioners and what they're paying and tithing to the church, that's fine. You can make it up on the back end by creating all kinds of 501c3 organizations that resettle immigrants. And you can get government money that you funnel out or launder to people who are creating these resettlement institutions. If you are a college or a university, you don't have to worry about the quality of students that you're going to get, because you basically are funded almost wholly by government money through cheap student loans. So all you need to do is get bodies in the building and accounted for, and ding, you can start hitting that button and getting that student loan money. That's how they launder it out. Let's say you are a city where there's a lot of crime. You can form another 501c3 and say that you want to look to study crime, or that you want to work with a group of juveniles from the age of blah and blah from this side of town. Boom, $1 million to that. So the power in the Democrat Party is able to launder money to pay for their support and to pay for the lifestyle of the people who support them. So when he's talking about these elites, what he is talking about is people who are primarily paid through these institutions, that at the bottom of the funding of these institutions, it's almost never money, private money. And when it is, it's usually billionaire Democrat dollars. But by and large, the large part of this money is our taxpayer money that is going to fund the lifestyle as a thank you to people who are not necessarily producing anything, but who are able to create organizations and institutions that can suck off the teat of the public. And they are terrified. This is why Elon, we're going to burn every Tesla they could find. This is why Elon Musk and all that Doge was such a threat, because we didn't really pay attention because we were looking at all that was going overseas. But honey, we needed to turn our attention to that which is staying in here, because they are floating. You want to know why a person, this average salary in New York is 20 times higher than the median income everywhere else, or the average salary in DC, Philadelphia, all of these places where these very, very high income earners, it is not, and generally for work that does not produce anything, that simply administrates a government function. This is what they're doing. They're saying, hey, here's the lifestyle we have to offer you. This is how we can fund your lifestyle. And in exchange for that, we need your uncontested and unchallenged vote.
Before I went into seminary and I met Crystal on TikTok last year, we have had so many arguments about the Democratic Party. And as someone who was raised in a liberal household, very much a pro-black household, and having to grow out of that, I want to recommend a book here, since Wise likes to give me homework and I'm still getting through them. I read a really small book. It will take you, I'm not kidding, about 30 minutes to read it. It's called How Do You Kill 11 Million People? Now, it had to do with Nazi Germany, and it kind of went through how they got to that point. And I see it happening all the time in the Democratic Party. The answer, by the way, to ruin the book is you lie to them. That's all you got to do. If you lie to them and give them something that they want to hear, a desire deep in their heart, a passion, or something that can fuel them, then you have their hearts and you have their votes for decades and for centuries beyond that. And we see that happening in the Democratic Party. The only challenge is people are starting to wake up. People are starting to do their own research. Everyone has a supercomputer in their pocket called a cell phone. And now when someone comes up and makes a claim to you, hey, we're going to help you with this, we're going to give you that, we're better than the other side is evil for these reasons, most people unfortunately still say, yeah, that's great. But a lot of people are starting to say, all right, okay. and they take out their phone and they start to look up the information that they're being given, and which is why we see this shift that the gentleman so clearly put out on the screen. To add to Celeste, if you ever want to add and figure out what's going on with the Democratic Party, just follow the money. It's that simple. I'll give it to you from a different perspective to double down on what she said. I used to work at BlackRock. A lot of people get upset about DEI. Most people have no idea what actually started the massive push when it comes to DEI. It was ran by the Democrats. It was put out there initially by Larry Fink at BlackRock, and you can look this information up. I'm really happy that people are getting to a point now where they're saying, you know what, I don't want to believe the sauce anymore. To use Minister's example, I don't want to drink that Kool-Aid as heavily. It's not good for you. You see, I want to get the water of life in my system. And what I notice is once you realize that and wake up, y'all have rarely heard of a Republican say, you know what? No, I don't want to have a healthy family. I don't want to be able to make for myself. I don't want my hard work to actually pay off. I don't want to be valued for my character. I just kind of want to go back to being hateful and care about my skin color and get government subsidies. So I think that he hit the nail on the head with that one. I'll pass it back to you, Wes.
Yeah, thank you. Crystal, what are your thoughts?
I think God used Donald Trump perfectly because Donald Trump was the perfect person to put in this space. Because growing up in Jamaica, Queens, New York, I knew of Donald Trump. I knew that Donald Trump was cool. As we all know, Donald Trump was in everybody's music videos. He was in everybody's TV shows and everything. And then all of a sudden, Donald Trump is a racist. Donald Trump hates Black people. Donald Trump hates all kinds of stuff. And we, the Democrat Party, we love you. We love you. No, your neighborhoods still look like crap, but we still love you. No, your life is not getting better with us running the city, the state, the country, whatever, but we still love you. And we want you to support us because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting something different. And that is what the Democratic Party wants people to keep doing. The thing is, even the people in Memphis who they are excited because of all of the change that's been happening in their neighborhoods, even though they have Black people running it, Democratic people running it, their areas, they couldn't even go outside and play. And Trump stepped in and all of a sudden, I can actually sit on my porch. Look at God. So I think a lot of people are coming into the realization, no, we have been eating our own poison. We've been eating their poison this entire time. And they've been convincing us the poison is vitamins and it's supposed to help us. But they've slowly been killing us. And you know what? I don't want to die by your poison. Amen. I want something different in my life. And I thank God that he brought Donald Trump up out of here. Listen, I don't care that he does not have a wide vocabulary. He speaks like a New Yorker straight from Queens. He keeps it real. He tells it like it is. And we notice once a lot of these slush funds started disappearing, allegedly, I mean, Jasmine's wigs are looking crappy now. You know, she can't get those extra eyelashes all of a sudden now. I'm just saying, ALC's outfits are looking a little bit struggly. I'm just saying. All of a sudden, the slush fund, these people aren't looking the way they used to. So clearly, thank God for Donald Trump in place. That's all I got to say on that.
When you look at the shutdown, right? And I don't know if you guys heard Mike Johnson the other day, and he came out and said, hey, this is what they're asking for in order to open up the government again. Yes. And it wasn't just $200 billion plus for healthcare for illegal immigrants. They're trying to recoup some of that USAID money that's been snatched away from them.
There you go.
Right?
There you go.
And the American people are looking at this like, wait, these things that they're asking for, isn't that, what was a part of the USAID fund?
There you go.
You're like, oh, no. So, AT, I'm with you. I think more Americans are way more politically astute today than they were, I would say, 10 years ago. And they're willing to take that extra step and not just watch CNN and not just watch MSDNC or read the Washington Post or whatever other liberal, news media outlet out there. And they're saying, hey, let me go do some additional research. And they're going to, some of the more independent platforms out there. And they're comparing and contrasting. And now, you can't hide it. And the people, once you see it, you can't unsee it. What are your thoughts, Minister?
The question is this. Listen to how the Democrats keep lying. The jig is up, but when you see them on the news, what do they say? Oh, they're trying to bring up our health care. They're trying to stop people from having health. They look over here, look over there, look over there. Don't look at where the facts are. It's sad that these people are so trained to believe that the people that listen to them will believe whatever they say. That when all the lies are exposed, they keep repeating the lie. I want you to think about this. This is how dedicated they are to the ignorance of the people that follow them. They believe that the people that follow them are so stupid that even when they're exposed, they can repeat the lie and you'll believe it. Are you seeing? Are you feeling me? They took their money back. Trump, thank God, we dodged the bomb. That was a bomb. We dodged the bomb. Trump took their money back. They got to get that money back somehow. So they're telling their constituents, listen, we're shutting down the government because they're going after your health care. And the people, and the fools will believe it. But again, the thing that bothers me, Brother Wise, and all of you brothers, is that when they tell a lie and they get exposed for the lie, and I mean, the people see them, it's been blown up, they'll repeat it because that's all they have. Mm-hmm. And that's the scary thing. For them to think that they can continue to tell the lie and get away with it tells you how much they respect their constituency.
You're absolutely right. And when you have someone like a Ketanji Brown Jackson come out there and say that, hey, black people are disabled, being black is a disability.
Apparently,
That's crazy words.
Apparently,
that's nasty.
Apparently,
that is the craziest thing that I've heard.
But
seriously, what are your thoughts, Jay Witt?
No, that's super crazy, but it's par for the course, man. It's them. Let me go back and speak on the issue that was on the table. The Democrat Party runs on a particular sin. They're fueled by one particular sin, and that sin is greed. My desire for anybody else's stuff or to get more stuff than I could ever satisfy. That's all they're running on. Now, I'm not saying that there are not other people, so don't hear what I didn't say. What I am saying, however, is the fuel that runs the Democrat Party is greed. They're greedy. They know that you're greedy. They're going to keep selling you something in order for you to keep supporting their greed base. It's a greed Ponzi scheme of the epic proportion. And so really, when the smoke clears, if we really want to provide an alternative, we have to preach the gospel. We have to help these people see that you are in the grips of sin. You are gripped and held hostage by sin. Your own sin, your greediness it not only locks you in, but it keeps you locked in. I mean, that's it. It's the jail and the jail keeper. Your sin. You need that. You need to hear that, know that, and realize the only way out of this sinful cycle, this Ouroboros of sin, is Christ. Period. End of day. Catch me outside. So the problem is, and again, this is systemic with humans, so it's not just the Democrat Party only, but they seem to rocket fuel that thing. They be chugging Red Bulls as it relates to greed. So let's just make sure we call it a spade a spade. Now, to the point of Ketanji Brown, but what did y'all really expect? What did you really honestly expect that woman to get up in there and do? For real. Now, whether or not all of her academic accolades, put those aside. The woman didn't know what a woman is.
Oh, did he?
Now, I'm not a woman. I am the husband of one woman.
Jason, hold up a second. I want to let you finish, but I got to ask, what would you say to someone that says, hey, she only said that so she could get in that position because she didn't want to, ruffle the feathers of, some of the Democrats or far left progressives out there. She only said that she doesn't necessarily believe, that a woman can be anything.
Well, at the current moment, ma'am, you haven't shown me that you have the academic and intellectual prowess that you were being that forthright in your, let me be duplicitous. Let me pull the wool over the eyes. Baby, you done pull the wool over your own eyes and then jumped into a pit. Okay, so what did y'all really expect her to do? And she's had several of these moments since she's become a Supreme Court justice. So a lot of y'all are like, yo, we got buyer's remorse. Like, what the heck did we get ourselves caught up
Broadway?
In? Right. So she's proven herself. She's proven that, no, she really didn't know what a woman is. Like, again, as I was saying, I'm the husband of one and the father of two. I can tell you what a woman is, and it's not me. So the fact that Ketanji Brown allegedly is a woman and doesn't know what a woman is, she was telling y'all that she's going to do this type of dumb stuff. So for her to say that black people are disabled, That's what y'all believe. And you know what? I think she's right. She is a black woman, is disabled. She is disabled. She is. She is disabled from being clear and logical, thoughtful, Christ-centered. Yeah, she is disabled. You're right. She needs a handicap placard and be able to get a special parking spot because she is disabled. You're right. You're correct. Get her the mobilized van to get the little wheelchair, all that kind of stuff. She gets in front of the line at Golden Corral. Not everybody else is like her, but she's a disabled black woman. Hands down, end of the story. Catch me outside.
And she can't act either.
But I don't understand why black people don't feel offended by this at this point.
Because she said, because they bought in. They bought into the Democrat lie. And we have to remember, the Democrats keep telling that the other side is so bad, so bad, so bad. Mm-hmm. So you almost got to accept all the whippings that you get. Yeah. So you come home and your husband black your eye, bust your teeth out your mouth. Well, baby, you can't go anywhere else because nobody else going to love you better than me. So you know what? Now I break your leg and put you in a coma. Baby, don't go nowhere because I love you. I love you so much, baby. Nobody going to love you more than me. I done put you out of your misery. Baby, I loved you so much I had to put you out of your misery. So instead of saying, like, let me leave this bad relationship, let me leave this horrible relationship and get out of this strange relationship. No, the Democrat Party got black folk locked in, getting their head busted. Got black folk out here crashing out for Hispanic people in Chicago, which is the craziest work I ever saw in my life. What kind of witchcraft? You got black gang members wanting to fight ICE for Latino gang members who just sitting around like, hey, I thought what's going on, homie? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But they out here crashing out for the blacks are fighting the ICE. Okay, hey, that's crazy work.
But I do have to ask. You have a lot of people out there. After she made these comments, you had a lot of people, and men and women, black men and women, that got out there and defended her statement. You know, that black people are basically disabled in perpetuity.
So you have to understand what a leftist is. What kind of people? I mean, you may see them on TV and think you see them in a protest march, but I'm saying go to dinner with a leftist, hang out with a leftist, work beside a leftist. I can tell you because I've done that my whole life. Leftists are hurt people. And this is why you should know this, because this will explain why they have such an allegiance to the Democrat Party. These are people who feel hurt, probably in childhood, and felt that there was no one that protected them. You look at black people who felt that, but for the government intervention in the 60s, that they would have remained under Jim Crow, would have remained living as unprotected citizens in America. Then you've got that's in a macro sense. In a private sense, you have people that had very dysfunctional lives growing up. And but for government intervention, and in some cases, the government didn't intervene, there was no escape from them, from the pain and dysfunction they suffered. So these are people who believe ultimately we have to have a strong and powerful government, because we have to provide a way where what happened to me can never happen to anyone else. And they glom on, the Democrat Party manipulates that in people. This is why you find so many women that are leftists. It is particular for people who feel that they have been harmed and there was no one there to help them. And what they want is a big bad bully on their side. And so no matter what that government does, as long as it says, hey, I see that you were hurt and I'm going to make it so nobody will hurt you. In exchange for that, you have to believe things like, we don't know what a woman is. And in exchange for that, you have to believe things like,
give up your sanity.
Black people are the equivalent, blackness is the equivalent to a disability. In exchange for that, you have to believe all of these cockamamie ideas, and they will do it because they are afraid. These are really, unfortunately, abused children who grew up into adults and who are looking for the government to be their daddy, the protector they did not have.
Wow. Amen.
Wow. And with that being said, I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. What are your thoughts? Like, share, subscribe, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Consider joining the ARP family or buy your brother a coffee if you would like to support the channel financially. I appreciate those that do. Thank you guys very much. God bless each and every one of you all. Join us Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for ARP in the morning, one of the livest chats. And if it's your first time, let me know in the chat. so we can properly welcome you. Shout out to you guys, man. I appreciate you all, man. Keep God first. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time. Peace.
We won't stop. I won't quit. Stand for the truth. No counterfeit. Real ones rise. Let the fake ones split. Repent for the lies. Let the darkness live.